I've had the Pocket 3 for nearly 2 years. I've taken it on a bunch of adventures with me, and I've created a ton of online content with it. So let's talk about why the DJI Pocket 3 might still be worth buying in 2025, and why it might not be. By the way, this video is being shot with the Pocket 3 and the Mic 2 that came with the Creator Combo. So first are some things that I still love about this camera, even 2 years later. This thing has been my little content creation workhorse. As someone who travels a lot and creates content both for myself and freelance clients, this has been the most convenient package for creating quality content that I can imagine. Now, my particular video work doesn't require high-end cinematography, expensive lenses, or studio lights. It's mostly casual, down-to-earth, talking head style videos, and maybe some travel content that's meant to just show you what I'm looking at. Now for that use case, the Creator Combo is the best because everything that you need fits into this little carrying case that easily goes into my backpack. The footage looks great, the slow motion is perfectly adequate for what I need, it flips between landscape and portrait mode for long-form YouTube videos or TikToks, the Mic 2 always travels with it and syncs up super easily, and like I mentioned, everything fits into one tiny package. This is perfect for content creators on the go. Okay, next let's talk about workflow, particularly with your phone. The ease with which you can record high-quality video, capture great audio that's already synced up perfectly out of the camera using the Mic 2, and then quickly transfer the footage over to your phone without taking up too much space and immediately creating a short TikTok just made me much more likely to use the Pocket 3, and it made the process a lot more enjoyable. One additional little note that's related to this that I want to point out is that the live view that you get with DJI's Mimo app is also amazing for a super quick and convenient workflow. Now, I know a lot of other cameras can connect to your phone nowadays, but I've used a lot of slow and clunky software in the past, and I found that DJI's app just works quickly, reliably, and seamlessly, and has never given me problems. Okay, now let me point out a couple of things that might make you want to consider not buying the Pocket 3. The first is size. Now, I know I've already spent time talking about how compact and convenient the Pocket 3 is, but as small as it is, there are still plenty of times where it's just more convenient to utilize the camera that you have 24/7 sitting inside your pocket. The Pocket 3 is a tiny workhorse of a camera, but if you don't want to be carrying around a backpack or a purse, or having a huge elongated bulge popping out of your pants, then you'll probably find yourself leaving the Pocket 3 at home. Now, I think this is a really simple but important consideration to make because so often, many of us spend our hard-earned cash on an exciting new camera only to look back a year later and realize that we've hardly picked it up. So just be honest with yourself about whether you think you'll actually be willing to carry around the Pocket 3 because it's just not as small as your phone and it is one extra thing to carry. Now, one of the headline features of the DJI Pocket 3 is its subject tracking. The gimbal follows your face as you move around, keeping you centered in the frame. And I'll admit, it's super fun to see in action. But here's the thing, in practice, I realized that I don't use the subject tracking nearly as much as I thought I would. I imagine myself getting really cool outdoor shots where I'm talking about something and walking around the frame, but the reality has been that most of my content is stationary, talking head style footage because it's just quicker and easier to record. And so in those talking head style videos, especially when you're cropped in really tight, like is often the case for vertical short form videos, the tracking movement can actually be a little bit distracting. So while the tracking tech is impressive and absolutely has its use case, if you're buying this camera just for that specific feature, take a moment to really consider how much you're actually going to want the camera following your face. Now let's talk about durability. Obviously, this isn't a rugged action camera, but not only do you have to take general care when handling it, a lot of people, including myself, have had issues with its mechanics. After owning it for about a year and a half, my Pocket 3 developed this issue where the screen wouldn't stay locked in the landscape position. Now, I did get an extended warranty for it through Best Buy, which meant that I just brought it in and then they replaced it with a new one, which was super convenient. But it also meant that I had to buy a new warranty for it. And so replacing the camera wasn't 100% free. Also, I've always been really careful with how I handle this camera. It's always in its protective shell and in the carrying case that comes with the Creator Combo. I don't think this is the kind of camera that you can just throw around everywhere and toss into your backpack unprotected. So if you're looking for a camera that will really be like an adventure, outdoorsy companion for you, the Pocket 3 might not be up for that. Now, one question that popped into my mind before making this video was, when is the Pocket 4 coming out? Well, there was a 2-year gap between the original Osmo Pocket and the Osmo Pocket 2, but then 3 years between the 2 and the 3. That would mean a potential Pocket 4 could be released this year in 2025, or like most people are guessing, in the fall of 2026. But there's not even a guarantee that there will be a Pocket 4 at all. So with that in mind, I'll just say this. In the past, I've bought tech just several months before a new version came out and replaced it. And I didn't regret it, because the version that I purchased was still amazing, and it allowed me to create tons of content months before the new version came out. So if the content that you could be capturing between now and some hypothetical release date in the future is worth it to you, then you may just want to get the Pocket 3 and start enjoying it as soon as possible. It's an amazing camera after all, and there's a reason that so many creators have fallen in love with it. And finally, let's end this video on a high note. The DJI Pocket 3 is just a super satisfying camera to me. I love the look and feel of it. The rotating screen is so satisfying that I've been finding all kinds of TikToks and Reels just showing off that feature. The gimbal works really well, especially considering that it's built right into the camera. I love the way that everything just kind of folds up when you turn it off, and the feeling that you and other people get when you click the joystick 3 times and the camera suddenly flips back and points in your direction. DJI just did a really good job with this camera, both with the quality and the form factor. I think if you've listened to everything that I've said in this video and you're still interested in buying the Pocket 3, you're gonna be really happy with it, and you're gonna get the same satisfying feeling that I get when I use it. This video was not sponsored by DJI, and so if you're considering buying this camera, I'd really appreciate it if you use the affiliate link down in the description.